Shalom. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, double honors to the elder bishops of Great Millstone as GMS, double honors to the elder high priest who taught them this truth. Peace and bless to the Akim and a few Akwat across the four winds. This is about the Mayim coming to you with a camp lesson. And I wanted to go into Joel chapter 2, but the reason, what sparked my spirit for this lesson was Donald Trump is going into the Golden Dome. It's a missile defense system because they know that World War III is amongst us. But whatever you build, Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, it doesn't matter because those missiles are going to tear Babylon the Great or the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America. This place is going to turn into the lake of fire. But Lord willing, this lesson be edifying, exhorting, and comforting to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Hispanics, Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Now the prophets are set up to what? To be like a trumpet. To do what? To lift up our voice. And I'm going to get that scripture. To give our people warning. Because in the ancient days, the trumpet was blown to do what? For different reasons, whether it's for a feast, for impending danger, so on and so forth. And the trumpet is also one of the loudest instruments also. So therefore, when we lifting up our voice, therefore people don't have an excuse to say they didn't hear. Which we know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and let me back up too, Yahweh is the Most High, whom the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai is whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So therefore, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he also blocks, the people of our nation from hearing this word, from receiving this truth. Also, when you go into Zion, that represents the 12 tribes. To Zion in the Hebrew, which goes into a monument. Something that's unmovable, which we can't be moved from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's hands because we're the apple of his eye. Again, the Israelites are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye a trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. And when you go into holy is separate. It's to be set apart. So we're set apart from all these different heathen nations. Starting with Esau Edom, which is the sons of the wicked. Then you have the sons of men, which are the other heathen nations. Then you have the sons of God, which are the Israelites. That's the three classifications of people. We're set apart from them. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew or show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Now the house of Jacob are you Israelites. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And we're supposed to lift up our voice and let our people know, hey, we're not sparing your feelings. We're letting you know that you're transgressing, that you're breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. And Romans 6 and 23 says, roughly paraphrasing, the wages of sin is death. So if you continue to sin, you're going to continue to lead onto a path that's for death. And ultimately, those ICBM thermonuclear missiles. And Donald Trump will not be able to save you. They're not going to be able to create a Golden Dome defense system. So like it, a Golden Dome defense system that's going to defend off these ICBM thermonuclear missiles once they're shot off. Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? And that city is Babylon the Great, or the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America. This is where we're given the warning, because this place is going to turn into the lake of fire. And the people not be afraid. People are not afraid because they don't believe that those missiles are going to touch this place. They believe that Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, that his military is so great that this place will never be touched. Well, according to prophecies, it begs to differ. Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have not done it? And when you go into evil, it goes into bad times. Hey, it's going to be a miserable time when those ICBM thermonuclear missiles are shot off. It's going to be a bad time in Jacob's trouble. It's going to be a time like never was before. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he creates both good and evil. Contrary to popular belief. You know, people don't think that the Lord, you know, they believe that he's all good. No, he's a balance. In the book of Proverbs, a false balance is an abomination to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. And this is Yahweh. You know, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, do all these things. So we can't put Yahweh by Shem Yahushua in a box. You know, he's outside of that, just like he's outside of time. You know, he's the Most High. He exists. You know, he's infinite. Back in Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So we're here to give warning, not only to our people, but all these other heathen nations. Again, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. So whether you're of the nation of Israel or not, we're giving you warning as to what's to come. ICBM thermonuclear fire is coming to this place. For the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai and the heavenly hosts. You know, they're also the angels, which are the heavenly hosts, the Lord's army. They're also going to have fire from those laser beams. They're going to be shooting off, zapping people. Like, this place is going to be judged. It's going to be a place for judgment. It's going to be a major sacrifice. Joel chapter 2, verse 2. A day of darkness and gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness. So a lot of people are going to be miserable in that day. Hey, it's going to be very dark. Hey, when you see those mushroom clouds, hey, people are going to be mourning, be sorrowful. People are going to be terrified in that day. Again, Joel 2 and 2. A day of darkness and gloominess. You know, it ain't going to be no mirthful spirit. It ain't going to be no turn up spirit anymore. A day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great and strong, Salakia, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever like, Salakia, I'm butchering that. Joel 2 and 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. You know, a great and strong is going into those thermonuclear ICBM missiles. It's not talking about actual people. It's going into those missiles. Joel 2 and 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. So a fire devoured before them, and behind them is when those ICBM thermonuclear missiles are shot off. You know, when they're propelled, there's a fire behind them. Also, there's a fire in front of them when they're coming back into the atmosphere, and those thermonuclear warheads or a fire also that's in front of them. Then when you go into the Salakia, the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, you know, you're going to have vegetation, trees, you know, everything's going to be blooming. But when those ICBM thermonuclear missiles are shot off and they hit, hey, everything's going to be laid desolate. And this place, Babylon the Great, is going to turn into a desert-like place. You know, you can read that in Isaiah chapter 34. You know, only desert-like creatures are going to dwell here. You know, you're going to have cactus, tumbleweeds, so on and so forth. But the only thing that can change, you know, the landscape from something prosperous or blooming is that ICBM thermonuclear heat. Joel chapter 2, verse 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. So those ICBM missiles, you know, the speed is clocked or timed just like your vehicles in horsepower, you know, but also horses, when they're let out, you know, when they're running around, what happens? A lot of dust is kicked up. So when those ICBM thermonuclear missiles are shot off, it's going to be a lot of dust that forms. You can see that in a lot of simulations. Joel chapter 2, verse 5. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. And this is going into those thermonuclear missiles. Verse 6. Before their face, the people shall be much pain, and all faces shall gather blackness. And when you go into that word pain, they're going to be they're going to be terrified. They're going to be in great fear. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is going to come back upon the earth, all throughout the earth, not just here in Babylon the Great. You know, you people are going to be terrified. You know, there's people out here mocking and scoffing the Lord, you know, about the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You know, they constantly saying when JC is going to come back. No, you need to be worried about when Yahweh sends Yahushua back, because you're going to be terrified, man. These people are going to be trying to unalive themselves, and they're not going to be able, as the scriptures say. Joel chapter 2, verse 7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one of his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So when they run like mighty men, that's the missiles. When they climb the walls, you know, that's gonna go over those missile defense systems. You know, because a wall is what? It's for defense. So when they go over, hey, like if you jump a fence, if you have a fence to your home, if you go over the fence, hey, that first defense is already broken. So that's what that's going into. And shall not break their ranks. The missiles, they're going to hit their target. No matter if you have a golden dome set up, so on and so forth. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is going to have it to where they're not going to be touched. So it don't matter the type of defense system. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is going to have his spirit in those thermonuclear missiles. They're going to be able to maneuver. And you can see that the Lord put it on the spirit of Russia. They got some that fly in some missiles that fly in the low altitude, and they can maneuver around mountains. So it'll be easy to go around these missile defense systems. Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. And when you go into the right hand bending the bow, it goes into the silos. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp. Those arrows are those thermonuclear ICBM missiles. You know, because they resemble arrows. You know, they didn't have the verbiage back then to say ICBM thermonuclear missiles at the time. You know, in the visions, it looked like what? They look like arrows. And you can actually see that on Google. You know, they have some split screens to where there's an arrow and there's a missile. They have a lot of similarities, which they both go to what? To destroy, you know, to unalive people. Second Ezra 16 and 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the earth, or the end of the world, Salakia. Let me read that again. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. So again, it don't matter, Donald Trump or the rest of you Edomites. It don't matter what you build for a defense system, because these missiles are not going to miss their target. Wherever the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, has it set out for them to land, that's where they're going to land. And they're going to destroy it once they hit wherever they are programmed to go. When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. You know, an arrow wasn't shot. You can't shoot an arrow from one end of the earth to the other end. What can do that? Those thermonuclear ICBM missiles. Again, going into that horsepower, you know, the ICBM missiles are becoming faster and faster. You know, it went from like 45 minutes all the way down to like 15 minutes. They can reach from like Russia, China, Europe, Iran, North Korea. All these missiles, they're going to be able to reach Babylon the Great, or the virgin daughter of Babylon, under an hour. And this place is going to be destroyed within an hour. So they're going to have to move at those type of speeds. Being here in Houston, you can't fly from Houston to Dallas. That's like a 45-minute trip. But by the time you go through TSA, you know, you start boarding, so on and so forth, by the time you land, by the time you've gone through all that, ICBM thermonuclear missiles would have already hit, you know, this virgin daughter, you know, would have hit Babylon, would hit ground zero and start destroying this place. It's going to turn into the lake of fire. Joel chapter 2, verse 7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. They shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. When you go into not breaking their ranks, you know, no matter, you know, the type of defense system, hey, they're not going to, you know, go outside of the direct line. Like with engineering, you know, when you shoot off missiles, it has a direct trajectory of where it's supposed to go. Joel chapter 2, verse 8. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So neither one shall thrust one another. You know, the ICBMs, they won't be able to intercept one another. You know, they're not going to bump into one another. And again, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to have his spirit in them. So therefore, they're definitely not going to bump into each other, knock each other out, or the Golden Dome or the Iron Dome. They're not going to be able, you know, to shoot off other missiles to knock those missiles off course. So these missile defense systems fall upon the sword. Hey, they're not going to be able, again, they're not going to be able to knock them off course, because it's like shooting a bullet at another bullet. You know, that's very hard to do. And let me read that one, that Joel chapter 2 and verse 8. I want to read that in the NLT. Joel chapter 2, verse 8. They never jostle each other, each move in exactly the right position. They break through the fences without missing a step. So I wanted to get a definition of that word jostle. And just a Google definition, jostle. Push, elbow, or bump against someone or something roughly, typically in a crowd. So those ICBM missiles going to be shot off in a crowd, but they're not going to be bumping, you know, bumping one another that vigorously, you know, to where they bump each other and explode. No, they're going to be in perfect order. as Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is in perfect order. Therefore, that's why the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to have his spirit in those thermonuclear missiles. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. You know, if you watch Terminator Judgment Day, they give you a glimpse of that dust that comes through, that fire, that sweeping wind that come through and destroy. And Sarah Connor was holding on to the fence. Her flesh was melting away. Eyes consuming, your tongue consuming. You know, you're not going to be able to talk. You're not going to be able to speak. The Lord is going to shut a lot of you people up. And the Lord is going to destroy a lot of you people that have come up against the children of Israel, mainly the elect of the nation of Israel, starting with the prophets. Actually starting with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, then on to the prophets, which would be the 144,000 men, the elect men, the 12,000 men from the 12 tribes of Israel. Second Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, will come as a thief in the night. So these people, you know, as in the days of Noah, these people are still partying, you know, marrying, giving into marriage, eating, drinking, not focusing on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, not calling upon the correct names. You know, I did a video on a guy that was in the military, which if you're in the military, when World War III comes, you're going to be destroyed. If you're going to be in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is where all the nations are going to be gathered for World War III, you're going to be destroyed, even if you are of the nation of Israel. You know, this is going to be your judgment, which the Valley of Jehoshaphat is Yahweh Shaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment in the Hebrew when you break it down. That's where most of the judgment is going to come. And then also here in Babylon the Great, if you're not calling upon the name, you don't have the faith, and you're not of the elect, and you're here in America, you're going to be destroyed. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So that great noise is when those thermonuclear missiles are hit. When they hit ground zero. You know, like the brother, you know, the elder in North Carolina, you know, Elder Hawad, you know, he say boom, 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 boom. It's going to be a great noise. Even when those ICBM thermonuclear missiles are shot off, they make a great noise also. And everything is made up of elements, especially you people. You know, we're made up of elements. So with that fervent heat, which is very hot, from those thermonuclear warheads, they're going to melt people with these. And people thinking that the judgment, you know, I could just continue to sin all the way up into the end, you know, and those missiles are going to give me a quick way to the spirit world. No, you're going to be tormented with fervent heat. You know, the Lord is going to have it to where it's going to feel like eternity when you're getting burnt up by those thermonuclear missiles. Second Peter 3 and 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? You know, going into your holy conversation is your behavior. You know, being separate, being separated from this world. You know, we are in the world, but we're not of the world. We're trying to walk in the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to the best of our ability by keeping the laws and the statutes and commandments to the best of our ability. But ultimately, it's having faith in the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, believing that he will save us. That salvation is only for the elect of the nation of Israel, you know, which was taught to us by our elder apostles and our elder bishops of Great Millstone. 2 Peter 3 and 12. Looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua power, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So we're looking for and hastening in the day that Yahweh sends Yahushua. It's going to set up one that is profitable, you know, and that profitable, it's not going to be no mourning. It's not going to be no sorrow. As you read in Proverbs 29 and 2, you know, when the righteous are in authority, the people are going to rejoice. But right now, since the wicked is being ruled, people are mourning. People are sorrowful. People are depressed, oppressed, suppressed. You know, people, you know, deleting themselves. You know, you got animals deleting themselves. Why? Because this place is out of order. And Yahweh's going to send Yahushua to put everything back in its correct order. 2 Peter 3 and 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. So the new heavens is going to be refreshed by those ICBM thermonuclear missiles. I mean, the new earth, Salakia. The new earth is going to be refreshed by those thermonuclear missiles, and the new heaven is going to be a new rulership, the correct rulership, the righteous rulership, under Yahushua, King David, the 144,000, and the 1/3, or the innumerable multitude, the rest of the 1/3, the innumerable multitude of the nation of Israel. And then ultimately the 2/3 of our nation will be reincarnated back into the kingdom of heaven. And we're going to rule forever in righteousness. You know, that's what we're hastening the day for. And that was the promise from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Joel chapter 2 verse 8. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Again, the missile defense systems, they're not going to be able to stop those thermonuclear missiles. Joel 2 and 9. They shall run to and fro in the city. And that city is Babylon the Great, or the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America. Revelation chapter 14 verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. You know, that the wine goes into her philosophies, pushing democracy, you know, pushing, you know, the alphabet agenda. But this great city is falling. It will fall. The Lord's word does not go out void. Joel chapter 2 verse 9. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. So when you go into the windows, it's the different ozone layers. You know, when those ICBM missiles are shot into the atmosphere, you know, they're going to come back down through the different ozone layers. You know, that represents that window. And what do thieves like to do? A lot of thieves like to sneak in through what? Through the window. You know, a lot of people like to leave their windows unlocked. Well, Babylon the Great, hey, it's an open, pretty much an open area, so hey, it's easy for the other heathen nations to come in. As you see the influx of immigrants, you see Russia has the submarines that sneak up also. People just enter in Babylon the Great easily. Joel chapter 2 verse 10. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. You know, the sun and the moon is going to be blotted out by those thermonuclear missiles. And a great depiction to see that is when you watch the movie 300, when those arrows, which those were literal arrows, were shot out. It started to get dark. And what did it do? It covered the sun. That's going to be the same thing with those thermonuclear missiles. But one thing also that was spiritual about that too, that 300, which was that small number, they were protected by what? Having their shield and bucklers, having Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah protect them. And I want to get the precept for the earth shall quake before them. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard. You know, those thermonuclear missiles, when they hit, it's going to shake and rattle the earth. As we read in that Joel, it says the earth shall quake. You know, when there's an earthquake, you know, the tectonic plates, they cause agitation. You know, they're rubbing up against each other. And that's going to be the same thing. It's going to cause major earthquakes. It's going to cause volcanoes to erupt, so on and so forth. It's going to be a time like never was before, which is Jacob's trouble. But ultimately, within all of that, Lord willing, we be delivered. Lord willing, we have that number, that hopefully elect number. Joel chapter 2, verse 11. And the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executed his word. For the day of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Now, when you go before his army, that goes into the missiles. For his camp is very great, that goes into the silos. For he is strong that executed his word. Because we know that in Numbers chapter 23 and verse 19, you know, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah is a man that he shall not lie. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 10. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater. So when rain and snow comes, once it hits the ground, it doesn't go back up into the heavens. No, it comes down and it waters the earth. It brings forth vegetation. Isaiah 55 and 11. So shall my word that be, that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So the Lord's word doesn't go out void. You know, the prophets are here to prophesy, to say before what's going to happen, to give you warning. Again, we're lifting up our voice like a trumpet, showing our people their transgressions, not sparing your feelings, telling you that there's danger ahead of us. But it's also salvation. To pray, to fast, to believe on the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah to be saved. Ultimately, you have to be of the elect of the nation of Israel in order to be saved. And for the day of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah is great and very terrible. So when it goes into being great, that's for deliverance. You know, we're here to bring you the good news. You know, it's going to be great for us to be delivered out of our captivity. Then also the terrible, or very terrible, is the destruction. Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. Again, the Lord's word does not go out void. Those missiles shall not miss. They're going to reach wherever the Lord has set it up. And most of those missiles, those ICBM thermonuclear warheads, are going to touch down in Babylon the Great, which is America. We're in the year of 2025. It's the hopeful year of our deliverance. And our deliverance is the nation of Israel, the elect of the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But it's also judgment and destruction upon Esau Edom, self-proclaimed white man, and the other heathen nations. Because Esau Edom is the top ruler right now. Job 9:24. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. The earth is ran by Esau Edom. You know, he believes that his golden dome is going to protect him, his iron dome. Their ICBM thermonuclear missiles are going to save them. No, the Lord created the waster to destroy. Isaiah 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And the smith, the modern day blacksmith, will be the scientist. You know, in the ancient world, the blacksmith would forge swords and all kind of weapons. Well, now these scientists are what? They're creating thermonuclear missiles to move, you know, with these at Mach speeds, faster than the speed of sound. And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know, when you read in the book of Job chapter 33, by like 14 through 16, you know, when sleep falleth upon you, you know, the angels sealeth your instruction. So the Lord sealed the instruction on these scientists to do what? To come up with the concepts for these thermonuclear missiles, to move at such speeds and to destroy. He created the waster to destroy. And ultimately it's an omen omen. You know, Esau Edom, which Esau's name is Ashar, which is wasted away. So he's going to be wasted away by his own so-called creation. And the reason why I say so-called, because it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's creation. He just used Esau Edom as a vessel for that. Again, it's an omen omen. Omen omen. He's going to be destroyed. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Psalm chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua uses Esau Edom as his sword. And we're begging and pleading and praying to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that he deliver us from Esau Edom. Deliver us from these ICBM thermonuclear missiles. You know, as they say in the world, we don't want no smoke. We don't want that smoke. Because that smoke, hey, as we read in Zechariah 14, hey, it's going to melt our skin away. Our eyes are going to consume away. Our tongue is going to dissolve, you know. And we don't want no parts of that. And again, that omen, wasted away. You know, he's the sword going all the way back to Cain. Being that dagger, that weapon. To do what? To unalive, to delete, to destroy. Joel chapter 2 verse 11. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? And then I wanted to read that last part in the NLT also. Who can possibly survive? The only ones that possibly survive will be the elect of the nation of Israel. There are going to be some heathens that are going to be preserved, but they're only going to be preserved to be the first fruits of captivity. You know, once we're set up in rulership under Yahweh Shai and King David, we're going to have these other heathen nations in captivity, starting with the elites of the nations. You know, Esau, Edom, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Mars, the Gettys, DuPonts, you know, all these guys that are, all these elites that are ruling in the shadows. Hey, they're going to be the first fruits of captivity. They're going to actually have to put their hand, you know, and do some work, put their hands to the plow, you know, dig the earth, do all the jobs that the Israelites had to do, all these dirty jobs. And that's what we're hastening the day for. Joel chapter 2, verse 12. Therefore also now, saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, turn you even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. So turn ye even to me with all your heart. You know, your heart goes into your mind, keeping your eyes single on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. You know, giving alms, being charitable. You know, charity covers a multitude of sins. You know, continue to prophesy. Let these heathen nations know their judgment. The 2/3 of our nation, you know, their judgment. Letting our people know that we are the chosen people to continue to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom. And the only ones that's going to, you know, ultimately be able to do that is going to be the elect of the nation of Israel, starting with, you know, the 144,000 and the innumerable multitude. But that's pretty much all that I had on this lesson. Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying unto you. You know, those Golden Domes, all these missile defense systems, it's not going to stop those ICBM thermonuclear missiles from being shot off and hitting their targets. You know, ultimately, I got one more. Ultimately, we want to be saved. This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy. You know, in our mind, we're not happy here in Babylon the Great. You know, as we coming out of the time of the Passover, which we're going to come into the Exodus 2.0, which we hoping that we'll be passed over, you know, on this side to be delivered. But this place is bitter. You know, when you go into that word America, it's bitter. This place is bitter. That's why you see a lot of our people mad. You know, as the scripture says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. But those that are living in mirth, you know, they're happy here. You know, they got post-traumatic syndrome, you know, PTSD. They love their oppressor. They love being here. They love being in captivity. They love working for low wages instead of having a kingdom mindset. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, which we don't have no joy of our children. You know, I'm near a park now. You know, if people turn their heads, you know, away for a few moments, they even show you these on TV shows. You're liable to lose your child or your children. You know, they show you a lot of pranks. I was watching one prank where they pranked this nanny. You know, she was on the phone talking to a dude, you know, not really paying attention. And the couple whose daughter it was, they came up and just snatched the daughter out of the stroller, and the nanny didn't know. She went to the car, you know, about almost 5 minutes, 10 minutes passed by before she realized that the child was gone. You know, there's no joy for children here. You can't discipline your children like you're supposed to according to the scriptures. So on and so forth. They don't want your children to know the truth. You know, they want to fill your children up with what? All these shots, this wine, again, the philosophies, democracy, You know, do as thou wilt. Sirach chapter 25 verse 7, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So we want to see the downfall of Esau, Edom, and the rest of these other heathen nations. We want to endure to the end. We're going to continue to beg and plead Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to deliver us. And again, call Layim La, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, double honors to the elder bishops of Great Millstone as GMS. Peace and blessings to the Akim and a few Akwat across the 4 winds. Shalom. Kwam Yashala and a Baba Ball.